Hey guys, welcome to the Two Dogs Podcast. I'm Dr. Ingky.
And I'm Dr. Ellie here. Hi, welcome. So we are two doctors who casually will talk about any topic, non-medical related, and we usually pick things which either are going to be relevant to you or based off our own experiences.
Yes, exactly.
So this week, what are we going to be talking about?
So we'll be talking about things to make you or things to quit doing to give you a much more happier
life.
Yeah,
happier
happier
life.
life.
So
yeah,
things to
five
quit.
things to quit. 5 things to quit to ensure that you actually have a happier life.
So let's define happiness first.
Yes. Well, happiness, I think, it depends on individual. But I would say happiness is probably the opposite of being miserable and sad. So if you're always miserable and sad and you're always worrying, right, then you're not happy.
I think that's a key word. Worrying, especially you put in a lot of time, effort to just do nothing but worry.
Yes.
Worry actually is not an action.
Oh yes, exactly.
I mean, it's a function, a very non-functional thing to do, but there is no active action. It's a very passive action to sit there and ruminate.
Yes.
And thinking about the worst things that can happen to you.
Yes, and a lot of times it actually prevents you from taking any sort of active action
Because you are too afraid to take action. All right, so let's start. Things that we should quit for a happier life.
Happier life, right?
Number one.
I'll say number one is overthinking. All right,
Quit overthinking.
Yeah, quit overthinking. All right.
Okay.
So I've actually known a lot of people. I would say I actually know someone. Before they actually do any sort of action, right? They always plan ahead now.
All right, planning ahead.
Yeah, planning ahead is it's always good.
It's
all right?
important.
But what they do is they tend to overplan.
All right.
Right? Overplan, overthink. And they always say, hey, what if this happens? All right? What if A happens? Or what if B happens?
What's plan B?
So yeah, if A happens, what do I do for plan B? Again, that is good. However, they keep thinking of all the
C, D,
E, F, G, and then a lot of times, right, it's actually quite unrealistic. A lot of the issues or the problems they think that might occur is actually very unrealistic, and the probability of it happening is actually almost 0 to none.
It's kind of like if you take a plane, right?
Yes.
What's the worst thing that can happen to you? Or what are the things that you can anticipate? I would say the most common thing to anticipate is delay departure,
Yes.
delay luggage.
Yes, that's right.
That's it. But most people will start thinking of
The plane will crash. Yeah.
turbulence, getting a lousy fella next to you,
Yes.
snoring away.
Correct,
Maybe when you're halfway eating, the seat will fall onto you. In reality, right, it's not really that common.
Nah, it's not very common.
Really not that common.
Yeah.
The most common thing is still just the
Yeah,
very
delays.
simple things.
Yeah, plane delays. Your luggage gets lost.
Yeah, so I think that's the simplest example that I can relate to when Dr. Ingky is talking about quit overthinking.
Yeah.
Nice to plan ahead, but don't plan too
Correct.
far ahead
Correct,
because
correct,
it's
correct.
really out of your control.
Yeah, actually, a majority of the stuff that happens after that is really out of control.
That's correct. Next one, I would say quit regretting the past.
Yes.
Quit regretting the past. I've known a lot of people who have done, let's say, bad experiences. Well, they say what? Bad experience gives you wisdom.
Yes, correct.
So in their high, in their more wise phase, they look back and say, "I've done it before, and therefore I really regret it. And I wish I did it. I wish I did it." And I think this function a lot when it comes to relationships,
Yes.
career,
investment,
finances.
Yes, correct.
And you keep thinking, what if I had invested? What if I bought the property? What if I had the guts to go up the person and talk to them? Maybe my life would have been better. So you are putting yourself in a very miserable spot today
correct.
of something that has already passed.
Correct. And a lot of times, right, whenever someone worries about thinks back about the things they did in the past, and then tend to brood in them for too long, they actually get depressed.
Yeah.
Over time, right, they actually get depressed, right? And they're always sad about things that they've done in the past, whereby they then don't see a way on how to move on. Now, it's okay to look back at the past
And learn.
Yes.
And
Learn what to do and what not to do, and then move on from there. But you should not brood in the past and stay in the past.
That is true. Recently there was a friend of mine who posted, how many times do you need to fail before you succeed?
That's interesting.
That's
I have no
interesting,
idea.
right?
How many times do you have failed?
And,
Maybe
and
none.
yeah, it's very hard to answer. My answer was it doesn't matter how many times you fail.
Yes.
It doesn't even matter if you are a one-time success.
Correct.
It is what you learn from it.
Correct.
Because if you don't learn from your failures, you never find success. But if you don't learn from your success, you will not repeat that success. So regretting the past is basically just saying, what have you not learned from it? Because if you've learned from it, that past is no longer relevant.
Yes, correct.
And we have to move on.
Correct. So number 3 is worrying about the future.
Now, quit worrying about the future.
Quit worrying about the future. Now, this is different from overthinking. Because overthinking, what happens is that means you think of what are the possibilities that might happen and how do you rectify it. So that's a lot of overthinking. Now, worrying about the future means that, hey, I don't want to do an action because I worry that bad things might happen. Then you stop right there. Right?
Okay.
You actually stop right there. So
Okay.
because of that, then what happens is there is no action forward.
Yes.
You don't do anything new. You don't do anything extra.
Yes, because it's not just anticipation. You also have things that you anticipate, that you worry, things that you know cannot be anticipated.
Yes.
That you also worry about it.
Correct.
I think that really puts a stumbling block in progress. Whatever
correct.
you want to do is not going to move forward.
Correct.
Right. Next one, I would say quit comparing.
Yeah, I would say this is actually very important because a lot of people, right? Even I would say myself also.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time. I would always look at my career, and then I will compare myself with other person's career.
Yeah.
And I always ask myself, how come the other person is so much better than me? Even though we started at the same time, we're doing the same things, they are so much more ahead of me, advanced, and they look so much happier as well.
I think it's worse now because of social media.
Oh yeah.
Because social media with TikTok, Instagram, people are always projecting themselves out.
Yes.
They're trying to show you what kind of ideals that they have, what kind of perfect life they have, what they can buy, where they can go, what they can eat. And it's not about them projecting, it's about you on the receiving end. When you see it and you get envious and you start comparing, and then you tell yourself, why can't I have it? Why my life sucks? Why I don't deserve it?
Yep.
And that actually is, again, a roadblock to happiness.
Yes, that's right. Now, if you want to compare, right, you compare only to one person. You compare to yourself. Compare yourself to yourself. Compare your current self to your past self.
Correct.
And then from there, have a look at what you've already achieved thus far. Maybe you compare yourself now to what you were maybe 5 years ago.
Correct.
And then from there, you'll be able to say, hey, you know what? I've actually achieved so much.
Yeah.
I've actually done so much in my life in the past 5 years. Now, a lot of times we don't give ourselves sufficient credit.
Yes.
Our own successes, right? We don't give ourselves sufficient credit because we don't actually look back and see what we have done differently or what we have actually achieved thus far. Now, so if you want to compare, only compare one to one person compared to yourself. Right? Don't compare anyone else.
And I'm going to add, if you look back and you can see the amount of achievement you've done, pat yourself on the back and tell yourself how much more you want to advance. At the same time, if you compare back and you found that, hey, I am static, that is also another comparison. Again, you are only benchmarking with yourself. You just want to benchmark with yourself and say, hey, I am static. What can I do now to make sure that next time I compare back, I'm better than today? Which means I'm also better than the previous years. So Dr. Ingky is right. Only compare with yourself. That's probably the best yardstick that you want to do. That's the only thing that I find is the most relevant.
That's true. Now, the last one, I would say this is the best. We saved the best for last one. All right. The last one is, what's the last one?
Last one. Quit pleasing everybody.
Yeah. So
don't be a yes man.
Don't be a yes man. And okay, now this probably goes around in almost all cultures, but I would say probably in an Asian culture context, right? It's actually worse.
More rampant.
Yes, it's more rampant because you tend to want to please your parents.
Yes.
You tend to want to please not only your parents, but your parents' siblings or your relatives as well. People who have
even someone who's one day older than you.
People whom you really never met for a long time, right?
Filial piety has taught us that if he's born 1 hour ahead of me, he's my senior.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you end up trying to please other people, but you end up being very miserable.
Correct. It's worse when you compromise yourself to please someone. If you please someone without compromising, meaning to say, all right, I'm damn free, I got nothing to do. Okay, I can do it for you.
Yes.
I can please you for that. But if it compromises you, you have a deadline to do, or there's somewhere you need to be, and to please someone else, you sacrifice yourself, you sacrifice your happiness, the plans that you already have. just to make them happier. And the worst off, most of the time when you please someone, the gratitude
doesn't come back.
They do not appreciate you because
they don't appreciate.
It was easy to push you around, and therefore you are just another pushover.
Yes. I give you a short story. So it actually happened to a family friend of mine. She would always do things for her family.
All right.
She would always do things for family.
But that's
she
common.
goes out of her way to do. She goes out of her way to do things for her family. Now, occasionally when she doesn't do things for them, the family gets angry at her.
Toxic.
Right? So she tries to please everyone around her. But when there are times when she tries to take a time off for herself, or she wants to do things that pleases herself, and her family actually gets mad. The family say, you know what? You're being selfish. You know, you should think of us. You should think of us first, how we feel, before you embark on this particular thing of yours, right? Imagine you spend your whole life trying to please these people, and the moment you don't please them one time, they are not happy already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, no gratitude.
Yeah, there's no gratitude.
Because you were always that pleaser.
Yes,
You were
exactly.
always that go-to person to get everything done.
Correct.
We're not trying to tell you don't help people.
Oh no, it's different.
It's different, right?
It's different.
We're not telling you to don't help people. We're just saying do not compromise yourself.
Yeah.
If there's a time that you need to do something and it's more important, put your feet down. It doesn't matter even if it's your parents.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if even it's your parents.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, even a lot of times, right? Trying to please someone is most of the time you're trying to please the people closest to you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. The people who are closest to you are most likely the ones who are going to hurt you the most.
Yes, that's right.
Right. So, hope you guys found this useful. 5 things that you should quit to lead a happier life. We're going to do a quick sum up.
Yes.
Number 1, quit overthinking.
overthinking.
Number 2, quit regretting the past. Number 3, quit worrying about the future. Number 4, quit comparing. And the last one, quit trying to please everybody.
Yes.
So, hey guys, hope you guys found our segment interesting, useful, informative. Click the like button, subscribe to us, comment down below. What other
Let
things
us know what are things that you should
quit.
That you should quit to make you happy.
I think smoking is one of it.
Yeah. I actually
It's a yes and no.
it's a yes and no. Some
people
find
need
joy.
it. Some people find joy in smoking. And now with the whole
whole
generation
GG,
end game, it's a whole big topic.
Yeah, that's
a
another
different topic
topic,
altogether. That's health. So we probably won't even step on it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll be back again next week. Hope see you guys again. We are here on the Two Dogs. I'm Dr. Ali here signing off.
And I'm Dr. Ingky. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.